want to say real quick, this poem ends with me saying that I want to start a conversation, so I just want to confirm up front, I am aware that hearing that from my white man self may force some of you to respond with justified ridicule. I will begrudgingly accept the consequences of my words. So this poem is called Are We There Yet? And it is about intergenerational trauma. My mama didn't mean to lie when she said that one day I could fly. When she insisted in time that I could do whatever it was I set my mind to. See, she said anything I dreamed of eventually I could become. As a kid I probably bought that, but now it sounds kind of dumb. Perhaps the point was to make me a hard worker, prevent me from being lazy. It might have helped if I wanted this or that job instead of just to not be crazy. My mama wasn't trying to make my worldview stunted. Maybe she thought the truth of things needed to be blunted. That it'd be best to leave my childhood carefree. Or maybe she really believed everything she said to me. It's not like she herself hadn't been misled. I'm sure she'd been told depressed thoughts are just in your head. She's older than me, so on this topic she was doubtless misinformed. She's a nurse, but trained at a time when therapy was scorned. There weren't ads around for better help, nor any help whatsoever. People had just begun thinking lobotomies might not be so clever. Even now, it's not like we've got a magical cure for insanity, though we have made a little progress respecting lunatics' humanity. This is just to say, it's not like up front my mama could have predicted that her son in time would become psychologically afflicted. She didn't mean to lie, but to fill me up with hope. It's a shame, but unintended, that I never learned to cope. My mama's mama didn't mean to lie when she told my mama she had to find a guy. When she said for women there was just one path in life. In the end, a mother, but first, a wife. Ooh. See, she'd been told that too, one generation back, although at that time it was an even narrower track. My mama's mama couldn't pick just any guy without catching flack. No, her mama said she could never date a lumberjack. What'd you think? Who knows whether my mama's mama meant to lie or not? No question that those racist ideologies have to be taught. But I have no way to check whether she gave him a second thought. Hard to blame her if she didn't. Shaking shit up could get you shot. Going way back, I'd think someone had to guess it was bull, the colonizer invasion that they managed to pull. But for all I really know, they could have truly thought it was right. Convinced themselves and others it was all a fair fight. I'm not seeking justifications, like those could exist anyway. I'm just trying to trace how things wound up like they are today. It's easy dismissively judging the past from our position in the present, but I want to find workable solutions to the greatest possible extent. My daddy wasn't trying to fib. When you talk to kids, it's all ad lib. You can't keep it 100 all the damn time. It's not just exhausting, it might be a crime. I mean, I'm not sure whether or not this is an excuse, but sometimes it might be called emotional abuse. Open transparency is great in nearly every case, but when dealing with kids, sometimes they need more grace. To avoid doing damage to an impressionable mind, sometimes we mislead in order to be kind. I mean, instead of a bedtime story about overcoming adversity like the world's fastest snail, should he have told me our family's real history in explicit detail? My daddy's daddy didn't mean to lie, he just didn't know. He had no clue, not a lot did, where the future was gonna go. So he assured my daddy, Nazis were only in Europe and the past. Yeah, I think if he were still around, his mood too would be downcast. See, his daddy's daddy, way back when, was murdered by those fuckers, had his skull bashed in. So our fam fled across the ocean, diaspora, immigration, and my daddy's daddy was born in this great nation. And the history books had recorded the Third Reich's defeat. Hard to guess there'd be so many wishing Hitler's reign would repeat. You think the original Antifa thought it'd be around a century later, with 1920s Italians trying to stop the rise of a dictator? No, I don't think my parents meant to lie. I think they just hated to see me cry. But cry I did when released out in this society. It broke me down into a bundle of depression and anxiety. And I don't know how to end this. I haven't got a clue. It'd be simple if our minds could only think thoughts that are true. But we're all susceptible to bullshit, propaganda, and lies. And what seems legit at first is sometimes merely a disguise. I've got no universal answers, just my personal truth. I don't know how to stop us passing our pain down to the youth. I've got no clue what to do with all this frustration, but hope if I keep venting, it might spark a conversation.
Yeah.